Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is a day that I want to discuss some very important things concerning using wigs and weaves and things like that. So uh, stay tuned and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so in this video I want to talk about um, the dangers of wearing weaves, wigs, and hair extensions. Now, I'm not here to judge anybody that does that. I have some wigs. I haven't worn them in a while, but I do have some wigs, and I do have some, the ponytails with the comb that you put in. I haven't worn them in a long time, though. But this is what I'm seeing as I'm looking through the internet and I'm looking at hair videos and things like that, that there's a lot of talk and a lot of visits to doctors' offices and dermatologists that are discussing things like track alopecia and things like that is very dangerous. What track alopecia is it's when you get extensions put in your hair that pull the hair follicles so tight that over time it literally pulls the hair out of the follicle and it damages the follicle. Sometimes the hair will never grow back. That's a danger. And I just want you to consider that if you're transitioning from processed hair to natural hair and you want to use protective styles, that there's other ways of doing it. Now, this doesn't happen just from doing extensions. You can get your natural hair braided and it can be braided far too tightly and can cause the same problem. So when you go into a beauty salon and you're wanting extensions put in your hair or weaves and things like that, you have to do your homework before you go in there. And that's a whole nother video. I'm going to talk about bad salon experiences. Okay, that's a whole nother issue. But track alopecia is a very serious thing. It can cause baldness that is permanent, that you could never get your hair back. Now, there are cases where people have experienced track alopecia and they were able to get it back, get their hair back. It took a lot of therapy, took over a year, and a lot of therapy, massage therapy in the scalp and essential oils and medications and things like that. Sometimes the medications might help your hair to grow, but they're toxic to your liver. So, really, what do you want to sacrifice? The other thing in regard to dealing with the wigs that have the so-called natural webbing in the front here to try to make it look like it blends with your natural hairline. Well, typically, particularly in Hollywood and places like that where a lot of the women are wearing these wigs, there is a glue that comes with it that you're supposed to put on the edge of that wig to cause it to mesh with your natural flesh color. The problem with that is you have to take that wig off sometimes. And there have been actors that have done this and they take the wig off and over time it's just pulling their skin off. It's just pulling their skin off. It's terrible. So you have to, really, I would encourage you to promote your own beauty as much as you can, and refrain from these artificial things that promise you all this stuff, but in the long run, it's harmful to you. Now, again, like I said, I'm not here to judge anybody. If you want to do it, go ahead. All I'm saying is, if you have extensions put in, if you have your hair braided, make sure that your stylist, your technician, is not pulling your hair so tight. If they're pulling it tight, so tight that your skin is lifted up, it's too tight. They need to take it out and start over. Don't feel like you have to sit there and just let them do it because you're assuming, well, they're supposed to know what they're doing. Obviously, they don't know what they're doing if they're styling your hair and it's causing you pain. But like I said, that's a whole nother topic. And I will probably do a video on that too. So that's dealing with weaves and extensions and wigs. So I just want to encourage you guys to be careful. going in these salons. I also want to talk to you about using human hair. Google it. I didn't leave the link, anything like that, because I want you to look up stuff for yourself. But you Google it. A lot of women are going to these salons. They're flying in from one state to another state to go see a particular person or whoever it is to get their hair done. And they don't know where these salons are getting this hair from. There have been cases where people have died because they used hair, human hair, that came from a corpse. Now, you don't know where the hair is coming from, particularly the human hair that you get. You don't know where it's coming from. There was a woman who went into a doctor's office. Now, granted, this did happen in Nairobi, but she spent a lot of money getting human hair put in as extensions, looked beautiful, and almost immediately that night she was having headaches. Well, 2 weeks later, the headaches were so excruciating that she's having to go to a doctor. I don't even think it took quite 2 weeks, because within 2 weeks she was dead. And what had happened was the hair had not been sanitized. It was taken from a corpse. I don't know if it was stolen or donated, doesn't matter, but it was taken from a corpse. It had not been sanitized. It had eggs in it from worms or whatever kind of bugs were in there that burrowed into her scalp and eventually gave her a severe infection, caused her to go into toxic shock, and she passed away. She was 17 or 18, something like that. It's ridiculous. So I'm saying, all in the name of beauty, promote your own beauty as much as you can, right? If you're going to buy human hair, buy it yourself. Before you have it put in your head, sanitize it. Sanitize it. Soak it in water. Hey, it's hair. If it's real hair, it shouldn't even fall apart on you, okay? Sanitize it first. Give it a rest. Let it wait, 2 days, a week, to make sure that there's no problems with it before you spend all this money, have this stuff put in your hair, and it makes you sick. All right? All right. I know that was a little heavy, but hey, I got to watch out for y'all, right? My faithful subscribers, thank you so much for coming by. Please share this information. Share this video. There is an epidemic of women going to these salons, getting this stuff put in their hair. They're getting sick. They're losing their hair. They have whole braids falling out because they're pulled too tight. It's awful. So I want you to share this video with anybody and everybody that you know, okay? And promote your own beauty. All right? Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you next time.